storytelling, a human skill for project managers, or a destination for AI? Carol Long and Stefano Capacchione. Our research paper includes an allegorical story. Imagine the land of fables and tales. Can you hear the sound of a forest with birds singing, a stream and rain? In the deep magic of the project manager are the tools of change. The ledger of the high steward, the quill of the architect of narrative, and the bugle of assembly. All of these sacred artifacts were at risk. The new conjurers of noughts and ones sought to usurp their powers. The skills of the project manager are in using these sacred objects, keeping the ledger of the high steward to tally the resources and the successes, wielding the quill of the architect of narrative to put structure around the information to be shared across the kingdoms, or to be tuneful on the bugle of assembly and raise a melody that gathers the allies from beyond the horizons. In defence of these sacred objects, I prepared to walk into the enchanted wood, straight into the meeting of scribblers and imaginers. I was aware that the experiment might be met with anger, disgust, or disdain. I needed to be competent with my tools to be accepted into the circle. Was I certain of my weapons for the battle against this monster machine? On this mission, I would have no advantage from magic or sacred tools. The day came. Despite all my preparations, I stumbled in the wood on the way to the circle. I was late. The story master received me with good humour. They made a space in the wood for me to work. I set about my storytelling task, knowing secretly I had 2 tasks to other people's single challenge. As I fought the conjurer of noughts and ones, I felt a magic well up within me. I had vision and hearing beyond the words on the screen. I could write about meaning and truth and feelings. This was the monster's weakness. It could only use such words. It did not feel the changes in blood and skin. While the purveyors of wishful thinking are active in the kingdom, the new conjurers of noughts and ones have not yet perfected their magic. It's clear that human blood is needed for the spells to whisper the right story in the ear of a queen or a serf at the required moment. It was still true that only humans can lift up their heads and describe the noble vision. While the future may hold new battles, in this time it is the human words that carry the dream until it becomes substantive and the mission is complete. Then will their legends be told by griot and jongleur and minstrel. Scribblers will scribe, and bards will weave tales. The imitators will continue to learn from them. The conjurers of noughts and ones will learn new spells. The kingdom of fiction will continue to have gatherings in woods where words are juggled, emotions evoked, and fanciful palaces created in the marble halls of imagination. Once a year, when the stars allow, Puck will return and gather around him a circle of storytellers to conjure fables from the air that they breathe. Our time in the land of fable must come to an end. Let's venture back into the world of business, with clicking keyboards and aircon fans. Storytelling with Puck is a week of online events. It is coincident with and inspired by National Storytelling Week. 2023 was the 5th year for this event. It's hosted by Stefano and the team at Puck Creations. These English language events attract participants from the UK, Europe and elsewhere, a broad audience of storytellers capable of distinguishing a good story from a poorly written one. The workshops were held on Zoom and YouTube. Storytellers posted their contributions on social media. OpenAI's ChatGPT seemed a viable storytelling candidate. It was capable of responding to poorly structured prompts. Prompts in writers' workshops are structured to broadly spark human creativity, not engineered for an AI's user interface. Carol tested how ChatGPT might respond to writing prompts so that she could give the AI a fair chance of producing something approaching a human story on the first attempt. Storytelling is a so-called soft skill that has been identified as necessary for project management. The stories told by project managers are part of the communication needed to make changes happen through people's efforts and organisational learning. By giving meaning through stories, project teams can test assumptions or elicit hidden requirements. Using metaphors and models helps the project manager and their team to convey information and provoke appropriate actions, engage and persuade stakeholders, explain the vision and the project story for a wider audience. Sense-making of complex information, signalling risks, or expressing urgency using storytelling can be vital to a project's success. The use of AI in project management has developed substantially over the last 5 or so years. The majority of applications are around numerical modelling for estimates, progress observations, or auditing. Applications using project storytelling have been more frequently considered in the last 2 years, and especially since the release of ChatGPT 3. To summarize our experiment, we used OpenAI's ChatGPT as a representative large language model generative AI that uses past patterns to predict the next word or sentence. It had been trained on a very large dataset drawn from a range of sources, including web pages and more traditional publications. It was on beta release to a restricted number of researchers and the general public at the time of this experiment. Our research question was, could an AI be a storyteller as accomplished as a human project manager? We used the same prompt for a human and the AI, based on a prompt that was in use with the Storytelling for Puck workshop in 2023. We published 2 stories and a summary on LinkedIn to gather observations and comments. Both stories are in the appendix of the paper accompanying this presentation. Can you spot the difference? To summarize our conclusions, OpenAI's ChatGPT 3 was distinguishable from a human storyteller. Human language has more variation, it flows differently, and invokes emotion. The AI output had a more regular rhythm and structure. ChatGPT 4 has been released, a much larger language model. Other large language models have been integrated into the major search engines. And debates about the regulation, intellectual property, hidden biases, ethics, and AI's future compatibility and capability are now common in public forums. We expect this to continue.